Welcome to 101. I'm Greg Bassey, your host from the Salisbury Independent newspaper. And today we have Bill Turner from Lower Shore Enterprises, one of the people getting things done in our community. Welcome, Bill.
Well, thanks. I'm glad to be here.
So what is Lower Shore Enterprises? I see your truck around that destroys documents.
That's right.
But I know there's way more than that.
Yeah, we've been in existence since 1967, so we're coming up on 50 years now.
Wow.
And just a little history, we started out as a sheltered workshop.
It was the Lower Shore Sheltered Workshop for a long time.
That's right.
Yep.
It used to be in the building downtown where the country house is now.
Right.
It's had several locations, and then in the 70s we moved out to our location across from the Maryland Food Bank.
Right.
On Owens Branch Road.
Right.
And we have essentially just one mission, and that's vocational rehabilitation for people with developmental disabilities.
So your client, you call them clients?
Clients, yes.
Okay. How many are out there?
We just got up to about 160 clients. We have about 40 staff working there, and our staff, run the office and work with the clients and go out and job coach and go into the community to help them find jobs. They do training and teaching, and we actually have a production facility right on the property. So in total, about between right around 200 people in that facility. So it looks a little bit like a manufacturing facility.
Looks like something in the industrial park.
Yeah. It really does. And we do very light manufacturing, but there's a lot of offices there. We also have a career development center. So we do work with the Department of Rehabilitative Services, which works with people who have physical disabilities in addition to developmental. And so if, for example, somebody's in a car accident, becomes disabled, they might get referred to our program, and we work with them, assess them, and help them find jobs in the community also. But our primary focus is finding job opportunities for folks with developmental disabilities. It's all adult related. We don't work with children.
Right. So if I'm a contractor and I have a job that I need done, what kind of work would I send to you?
We have a number of things we can do. We have something we call business services. That's what we call it internally. That includes light manufacturing, assembly. We also have mail production, which we can help you. We work with Minuteman Press here in Salisbury, and they have a graphic designer. We'll develop a brochure, design it, print it. We'll mail it out for you. We'll work with you on a mailing list. We also accept pre-printed items, and then we'll label them. Our clients, sit down and they label things. They're really good with hand-eye things, coordination, small assembly jobs. We also do some work for companies in the industrial park. There's a company called Poly One,
right,
and they send us their used poly rolls, which is a metal spool, and we clean those up for them and send them back because they have to be perfectly cleaned when they wrap the poly around the spool. And we also do paper recycling, and most of that comes through our document destruction division. So anytime somebody has an excess of paper they want to have shredded,
right,
then our truck goes on site, shreds it, and then we recycle all of that.
Okay. So you keep that paper and you're able to do something with it.
Yeah, actually we get paid for that.
Okay. That truck is very impressive, by the way.
It's quite an operation, and we do like to brag a little bit that we're the only AAA certified NAID dealer for document destruction in the area. There's some outside the area that come in, but we're the only local person. All that means is you shred things in a certain way so that a lot of the people that have to abide by HIPAA regulations or maybe the school system. So the hospital, PRMC, is a big customer of ours. because they know that we handle the paper in a certain way, so it's nobody looks at it. It's shredded and then completely recycled. So.
Right. Let's talk about your clients. What kind of people are your clients?
We have a broad range of developmental disabilities. They're all adults, first off. We have some various forms of autism, maybe some folks who have had traumatic brain injuries, and other Down syndrome. And I couldn't give you all of those categories, but there's a number of different developmental disabilities that they come with. So
now, when I've been out there, the people that are working there seem totally committed to what they're doing.
Yeah, be honest with you, it's a great place to work. The staff love it, the clients love it. It's really a very social community for the clients.
Yeah.
The thing that we like to say is that there's a value in working and earning a paycheck. Really, it's a very simple thing for most people. They don't think twice about it. But the unemployment rate for people with developmental disabilities is very high. It's probably over 20% in our community. And so to have a job, at the end of the week, they always get a paycheck and they take it home. It's a big event. Payday is
Right.
huge for us. And a lot of that it's not just about the money, though. It's about the sense of accomplishment. A lot of small short-term tasks that can be accomplished, and the feeling of accomplishment when it's done. So
I mean, you get a feeling of pride that these people are proud of what they're doing.
Absolutely, they do, it's also done in an environment that is, it's very social, it's very friendly. Our mission statement is client first. So anything that we do as a business, even though we're a nonprofit, we are a business. And anything we do, we ask ourselves, how is this going to impact our clients? If we have to make a financial decision, or if we have to change what we offer as far as services to customers, that's the first thing. Can we employ clients in this endeavor? Our real goal is to get every client outside of our facility.
So you would like it'd be nice to have your little fiefdom there, but the idea is to train them and get them out into the private sector.
That's right. That's our priority, and to integrate all of our clients in the community in some way. And depending on whether they have certain behavioral issues or physical limitations or health issues that have to be resolved, not everybody can go out and work at a McDonald's or work at the hospital or at the Salisbury State or Salisbury University, and but because of that, we keep them employed at our facility until we can find that perfect opportunity.
Right.
So we also provide training, job coaching. We have folks that go out and actually talk to employers to see if there's an opportunity. We train clients to do resumes. And how to dress for success,
Right.
And we also do some life skills with our clients. How to iron, how to do laundry, a lot of simple day-to-day tasks that we all take for granted. But
No, I'm overwhelmed by that stuff myself. So
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, and so a lot of them live at home or live in apartments. Some live in group homes. And so when they come in, it's very social. A lot of times in the community, they might experience some either bullying or whatever. We don't have that in our environment. It's a very safe place for them to work in. They feel comfortable. They develop personal relationships. There's some boyfriend-girlfriend things that go on in our facility because they see each other every day. And one of our challenges is getting people out the door. They get comfortable, and our clients, they have their friends are all there, and our job is to convince them and show them how they can get into and be integrated in the community at large, rather than just being at our facility itself.
Now, the employer obviously, I think, plays a big role. How do you train employers to be open-minded about this kind of thing?
Well, we whittle them down.
I mean, my first experience with something like this, and this will date me, but I guess we're children in the 80s, LA Law had Benny, the clerk,
Right.
Who I guess had some form of retardation. Incredible character,
Right.
Really made the show interesting. And that was the first example that I ever saw of people in the workplace who might have a disability.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of it is just exposing our employers to the opportunity. We do have a program where our clients can go out and be interns temporarily, where they work part-time on a short-term basis to see if the employer and the client is comfortable with what the job requires. And if you, I can give you a couple examples of that if you want.
Yeah.
We have a client whose name is Larry Jock, and
I
he
know little Larry very well.
okay,
Yeah.
and Larry loves animals, and he is interning at All Paws Doggy Daycare in West Ocean City, and this is a sort of a preliminary step for him to see if the employer likes him, if he likes the work, and if that everybody's comfortable with it, then hopefully he'll become a part-time employee with them.
And because Larry grew up around me, coincidentally, I know the kid's got the greatest heart ever.
He's a cool kid.
Yeah.
I say kid, but he's an adult.
He's 19.
Yeah, he is.
He might be 20.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we also have a program in-house. We work with Pets on Wheels, and we're not allowed to have pets at work, but any employees who have a pet that goes through that program can come in, and they're not therapy dogs, but they come in, they spend time with clients, or somebody's having a rough day.
Right.
You know, it's a very soothing thing. My own dog is in the program,
Wow.
so she gets to spend a day with me at work, and then I walk her through our production rooms, and we take a little break, and the clients just kind of connect with the animals. So there's a very real affinity for, I think, animals, and also we're starting a program where we're growing some vegetables and things like that at the facility. So they like to see things grow, and a lot of the clients just have such affinity for small animals. In fact, we have a client by the name of Curtis Dawson, and he's interning at Super Pets out of the Twilley Center, and he works with the fish and cleans cages and that sort of thing. So it's a similar thing where he's doing a temporary internship. And it's a great experience. He loves it. It gets him out of our facility, which is our goal.
Right.
I would say right now probably 50 to 60 of our clients out of 160 either volunteer in the community or work out in the community or leave our facility for something else. Another client we just placed is Ryan Bartheld, and he's out at Goose Point Marina in Rumbley. I don't know if you know where Rumbley is.
I do. Yeah.
And it's a cool little place right on the creek, and it's a restaurant, and he's in there doing dishes for them. And Ryan always has a huge smile on his face. So when he's not doing that, he actually I think does that on weekends. He comes to our facility during the week, and he works on our Poly One job too, so cleaning off the spools
Right.
and that sort of thing. So there's a little bit of everything that we have going on. We have we did a big project last year with Zooit. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
Halloween last year.
Oh, the Just Do It. Right.
Yeah.
Where they collected the cans. Right.
That's right.
Right.
And one of our clients, David Thomas, worked on that job, and they came to us. I think we had to put together 10,000 cans with labels on it.
Right.
And had 2 weeks to do it. And it was sort of a last-minute thing. And David Thomas is also on our board of directors.
Okay.
So he's a client who's on our board. And he does a little bit of everything. And he works in mail production. He works on our document destruction crew, and we have about 10 different clients who work on document destruction. And then we also do, as part of our mail production facility, we have two of our clients, Sammy Mills and Bo Phillips. And the two of them always have huge smiles on their faces. They love doing the mail stuff, labeling, folding, and then that gets processed through our mail machine. And so they always are a lot of fun to be around. It's a great one of the great things about my job is I get to walk through the facility, and when I do, you always get a great smile, a hug. People they know my name when I always don't know their name. And it's really if you're having a bad day, just go back in the work area, and you come back, and it just kind of lifts you up because they just seems like they're always happy. They love working and doing a day's worth of work. So it's pretty great.
I know when I've been there and then I went back to my office, it was a completely different experience. I almost wish I'd stayed at your office, because the people were a lot happier than they were back at my office.
Oh yeah, well, it's a terrific place to work, and it's been a big change for me.
Yeah.
So
So let's talk about that. How did you get where you are?
it actually isn't a very long story, but I was at E.S. Adkins and Company. I was the president and CEO there for 30 some years.
One of the great venerable companies of the local area.
Yeah,
Certainly something that's a company been through a lot of change.
It has. I think it continues to change. It's still owned by the Adkins family, and I have nothing but great things to say about the family. Now, most people remember us as a lumber yard, and during the 90s, we slowly got out of that business. We thought we were a lumber yard company, but we are a home center company, and really we're a real estate development company.
Right. So I think of you as a developer, real estate guy.
Right.
But now you're in something completely different.
Right. My background is finance. I actually started out as a CPA, but got into operations and really haven't practiced as a CPA for many years. But I had made up my mind, and we had talked about making some changes at Adkins, and I was talking to Michelle Thomas at the Bank of Delmarva, who's on the board of directors at Lower Shore. And I was telling her that I was going to be leaving, and she asked if I was retiring. I said, no, I'm looking for a job, actually. And she said, I've got the perfect job for you. And so I think within 3 weeks, they had hired me. We went through an interview process. And, one of the great things about Salisbury is you get to know a lot of the other people here, a lot of the volunteers on nonprofit boards. But nonprofit was not on my radar, to be honest with you.
So as a guy whose whole life has been devoted to making a profit, what's it like to be at a nonprofit? You still have to make a profit, though, at a nonprofit, which people don't realize.
Yeah, it's true. But it's probably not that foreign to me because I've volunteered a lot. I've been on a number of different nonprofit boards. And with my finance background, it really is a business, and it has a slightly different priority. It's not about the bottom line. Even though we like having a small bottom line, that's not our mission. Our mission is working with our clients, and so you get to do both things, and we have to, Lower Shore needs to continue to evolve too, and I think that's maybe one of the things that I might bring to the table for them is just my business background. I think we need to think more like entrepreneurs. We want our clients to be entrepreneurs. There are grant funds out there through the state of Maryland, and if a client wants to start their own business, they can do that. They can get a grant for startup money. We can help them and assist them with that. It's really a great program. And with the advent of the internet too, they can make things and sell it on the internet. So there's so many different opportunities. As a business, you can get stuck in the same mold. And so one of the things we have to do is sort of look at ways that we can evolve our business, find new business revenues to bring in. We are funded with state funds, which come from the federal government. And that helps us with supervision and transportation costs. But at the same time, we have to run a profitable business at the same time.
So you raise money plus you charge the businesses that use your services?
Right. We do seek donations and we do fundraisers. We have a Friends of group that support us. And we do, we have a golf tournament and that sort of thing. But at the same time, we develop our customer base. We're very focused on what our branding is. I think everybody knows the name Lower Shore Enterprises, but most people really don't know what we do.
Right.
Other than maybe we used to be a workshop.
Right.
But with our business services and our mail production, our small assembly, document destruction, a lot of people don't know about that. So we're really focusing in on doing a little bit of marketing this coming year and explaining to people what it is that we do.
Right. So if I'm a local employer, how would I reach out to you to use your services? How can we connect?
Well, we're very active in the Chamber of Commerce and the Greater Salisbury Committee. You can just call out there. We have a group of people who run each individual area. We have a staff person who runs document destruction, and then we also do a lot of custodial work too. So we send crews out to Delmarva Power. A lot of the state office buildings, we perform their custodial duties there.
Okay.
Yeah. And we do get some priorities through the state of Maryland if a job is going to be bid. they give us an opportunity to look at it and see if it's something that we're interested in doing. So a lot of our clients go out, on the job and do that kind of work in the evening and on weekends too. So
Now, I get the feeling that what you do is unique, but do all communities have something like Lower Shore Enterprises, or are we truly unique?
well, I think Salisbury's uniqueness is that we have so many groups that actually work in the developmental disability community, and there aren't very many workshops still around. And the developmental community is changing nationwide right now. And calling yourself a sheltered workshop is a little bit of a no-no these days.
Right.
What makes us a sheltered workshop is that we are able to pay less than minimum wage to some clients based on their abilities. We have to test them. We see what they're capable of doing. And so some of them don't make quite minimum wage, but they do still take a paycheck home. And a lot of people in the developmental community don't like that. And, they want us to pay minimum wage. There are some organizations that have gotten out of the shelter workshop business. We have not done that, and we will not be doing that because we think it's important they continue to make a paycheck while we try to place them in the community. And a lot of those groups, when they get out of that business, they shut down their sheltered workshop, and then the clients don't have anything to do during the day. That's our biggest concern.
Right.
We want them to be in a safe environment where they can continue to work, and we still offer that. So,
I guess there's a line there between the training versus exploitation. I guess other groups that maybe weren't managed correctly, there has been problems with exploitation in the past.
I think most of those are long gone, to be
Yeah, okay.
honest with you, in the past. Maybe there was something like that in the 60s or 70s where maybe folks were taken advantage of. But I can tell you that is not the situation,
Right.
at Lower Shore. If you went out there, you can't help but feel the positive vibe.
Oh, no, I get
on.
that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the cynical people who watch this who watch the organizations all in all might think that there's exploitation going on. But if you're a part of it, you realize there's not.
And I will say the people that want to make changes in the disability community are doing it for the right reasons. It's just the practicality of it sometimes misses. If we all want, and our goal is to have clients in the community. We want them integrated in some way in the community. But the practicality is that some of our clients, for either medical or behavioral reasons, it's a very difficult thing for them to do. And so we can't just abandon those clients or tell them, I'm sorry, but we can't serve you anymore. So we have them still come to us, and they're able to work. They're able to get services that they couldn't get elsewhere in the community.
Right.
So it's not that. I think the issue is, how do you make that happen? And that's where we disagree. Everybody agrees we want every person who has a disability to be integrated in the full community. I think everybody thinks that's a very good thing, a positive goal to have. But we all just disagree on how that's going to happen.
Right.
So.
Just the transition between the institutional stuff and the group homes thing has been
Right.
fascinating to watch.
Right, and even that's changing. And really, what I think more than anything else, it's facility-based operations,
Right.
which is our group. Dove Point has facility-based operations. Somerset County Developmental Center and Worcester County also. We all have facility-based, and that's the move is away from that. And I think you just have to be very careful how you make that move so that clients don't lose the services that they need. And that's what's going on nationally in the developmental community.
Right.
There's actually a Supreme Court case about that through the ADA when that was passed, and the fear was that clients would lose their choice by being either forced into or out of facilities. And so now, as long as clients have the choice, every client that comes to work with us has a individual program. And we talk about what their goals. And we're all about self-advocation. We want to know what they want to do, what interests them, how they want to spend their day. Do they like working here? Do they like working with their co-workers, the staff we have? And so we develop a plan. How can we get them integrated into the community, or find a job or a vocation? And sometimes maybe it's just a volunteer job. So we do have a group at the hospital that volunteers quite a bit, and so that's their vocation. That's what they do.
Right. Do you find that your clients have a support network at home sufficiently, or is it all different for everybody?
It's different, and it depends on whether there's still a family there, or whether it's a caretaker, whether it's a group home. It really depends on what their network is, whether they have family in the area. So a lot of them really have great situations at home, and others have difficult situations. And so that's something that we take into account. It's part of the individual plan is how we integrate. We meet with their caretakers or their parents and with them in the room, and we talk about what those issues are, how they're doing at home, what health issues. Some people come with health, or maybe they're diabetic, and so we have to watch what they eat during the day when they're with us. And some of them have really good situations and some not. We do have, during the year, we have several different events. For example, a lot of our clients don't have Thanksgiving dinners except with us.
Wow.
So we do that, or a Christmas party. And some do, but a lot don't, so we make sure that they at least get that while they're with us. So,
Right.
and to be honest with you, it's fun. It's a blast. When we have a party, it's a fun party. Yeah. I mean, everybody has fun. Staff, clients, everybody. It's really great.
That's terrific.
Yeah, yeah.
What can I do as a member of the community to help you?
Well, just think of us and think about if there's some opportunity. A lot of employers, when they go to hire somebody, they think, oh, I have to pay somebody, a full-time job with benefits. That's not the case. The average client, the average person with a developmental disability probably works 2 to 3 days a week part-time. And, so it isn't a major commitment sometimes for an employer. I think when they think about hiring somebody, they're worried about how is this going to affect their customers, how they're going to integrate them with the rest of the employees. Those are things that we can help them. We'll actually job coach. We'll work with the employer and show them ways that they can, with minor changes maybe, fit somebody in. And it's if we can't help those in our community that need that help, and we do have a lot of people out there that do that, that think about us, but it has to work for them. They're in it to make money. That's their personal income, and so it has to incorporate within what their goals as a business person is.
Yeah, I know when I'm around your clients, that feeling of independence that I absorb from them, that pride that maybe they've been dependent for a long time and they're independent in that workplace. It's just so inspiring.
Well, and it's no different than if I think it's that same feeling that when you're going through school when you're a kid and you go out into the workplace and you've got that first job and you're on your own. To be honest with you, it's the same feeling for them. And living independently. That's a big change in the developmental community, is having some independence at home also. And then having independence at work to hang out with the people that they want to hang out with at work. And a lot of the people, they're coworkers. They go and do things together afterwards socially. So that's if nothing else, client choice is what we are really focused on. What do they want to do with their lives? How do they want to live their lives? What types of work they want to do, and helping them achieve those goals.
Do you have open houses? Can people come out and see the facility?
We can. We can give a tour anytime, but the last Friday of every month is something we call Hot Dog Day, and we have a lot of visitors that come out for that, and you probably have been out there before on Hot Dog Day.
Yeah.
And we give tours, and
if there's hot dogs, I'm going to show up.
Well, there you go.
I go to the car dealers on the weekends. Anywhere there's hot dogs.
Well, there we go. And we give out our monthly awards to the clients.
Right.
And it's almost like an open house. We have so many visitors come through on Hot Dog Day. So the last Friday of every month.
All right. Bill Turner from Lower Shore Enterprises, another one of those people getting it done in our community. I love that. That's the theme here. So thank you, Bill, for being here.
My pleasure.
Another edition of One-on-One. Greg Bassett from Salisbury Independent Newspaper, right here on PAC 14.